So we are live now.
Okay. All right. So,
Yeah,
shall we? Should we wait for a second
yeah.
for your people to join, or you want us to kickstart?
We can go ahead. We can go ahead. So once they start joining,
Okay. No problem. Then let me. I'll be sharing my screen. So give me a second. Let me see. Okay. Just 1 second. Let me insert this, and then let's go.
Madam Mugo, welcome. Good evening. Please kindly share the link because I'm battling with getting the link to share. Please share the link on the group and let everyone know we are live, please. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm uploading a particular document into the studio. Right.
Okay. Welcome. If you're joining us, welcome. Please let everyone on the group know that we are live. Kindly share the link with them.
Okay, it's not here. Is it showing from your end?
Yes, it's showing now. It's showing.
Okay, okay. All right. All right, so guys, good evening.
Designing
Good evening once
designing
again.
workflow and building AI automation systems.
Right, right. So like I said 2 days ago, I said that we would be getting our hands on some specific tasks today. And so today's session is going to be a lot more practical. But just before we get into building the actual automation systems, I just want to highlight on a few things. And what we are going to be dealing with today is a case study, right? I have picked this character, and I did this because I am not also privy to the kind of businesses that some of you are into. I am unaware of the kind of businesses you are into. So this is going to be like a persona, right? An imaginative persona, right? A character that we want to use for this particular project. And so we are going to be dealing with Amara. Now, Amara is a productivity coach, and she has built a digital course that she calls the Time Mastery for Creators. Now, she records her course, and then the videos she hosts them or uploads them to her Google Drive, and then she shares the folder links or the access to the video manually, and every time somebody subscribes. And so in the case of Amara, she's constantly struggling because, I mean, sharing the link is not a big deal, but having to do that about, let's say, 20 times in a day can be hectic. It can be tiring because every single time somebody signs up, or every single time somebody registers, you have to be copying and forwarding links, sending links here and there. If you are doing it once, that is okay. But if you have to do the same thing over and over again, then you are going to get fed up at some point, right? And so that is her story. She records her courses, hosts them on Google Drive, and so on and so forth. But here is the problem. Amara is now confused because when somebody enrolls, she has to manually check for the payment notification. She now, because you know all these things we've been doing when you have to make payment, send a screenshot, let's go and confirm from our transactions whether the money is there, whether we have received the alert and so on and so on and so forth. And so that is what Amara has been doing. And then once she confirms that, yes, I have received your transaction, then she has to go and open her Gmail to send an email to this client, to this lead, this customer. And then she has to go ahead and share her Google link, the drive link to the video. Then she has to enter the details of these clients onto a spreadsheet or her database because she's also trying to build an email list. What are the problems Amara is going to face? Sometimes she's going to forget to send the email access. So she will have to be reminded. And don't forget, the more people have to remind you that, yeah, what I paid for, I haven't received. What I asked for when I signed up, I have not received the link to the course. When it continues over time, people begin to discredit you. Your credibility begins to waver. And it is not your fault. It is not that you have deliberately decided not to give them what they have signed up for or what they have paid for. It is simply because the task you have taken upon yourself is so heavy. You are trying to shoulder all of these tasks, right? And it has become difficult. You are overwhelmed with all of the tasks that you have to be doing. And also because you need to attend to hundreds of people, sometimes tens of people, sometimes thousands of people. And you cannot be doing repetitive tasks manually, attending to hundreds and thousands of people, you know. And so again, your follow up is going to be inconsistent because sometimes these are leads. Maybe you just want to build an email list or something. Remember, these people are leads that you are trying to build. And so from time to time, you need to be following up on these people. You need to be checking up on these people. Do you have new offers that you want to give them? These things can be hectic. Sometimes you might even forget that you had to do such a thing. So that is one of the problems that Amara is currently facing. And at scale, well, she starts to miss her signups and then lose her credibility. People are no longer signing up because they think that, oh, as for Amara, even if you sign up, you are not going to get the post. So you can run the ad, they will see your ad, but they are not willing to sign up because they think that even after signing happens, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem when that happens. And so what can Amara do? What can Amara do? You see, that is where the KISS framework comes in. The KISS framework, as I call it, is just one framework. By the way, KISS simply means keep it simple. Keep it simple. Because all of the tasks that you are doing is a lot. You are doing a whole lot of things at the same time. But here we are today. We want to keep it simple, right? You see, the biggest flex for me is having a system that is simple but efficient, right? Simple but efficient. That is the most important thing. It is not about the complexity of your system. It is about whether or not your system can deliver. It is about whether or not your system is reliable, whether it is sustainable. That is the most important thing. And keeping it simple is the way to go. But let's just look at this. Before automation, what are the things you were actually doing? Right? You were doing a whole lot of stuff. And then sometimes, because you have to use different softwares here and there, it becomes a problem. But when it comes to the the KISS framework says, listen, don't start with the software. If you want to tackle anything, stop looking at the software, right? What you need to do is first of all identify the task that you intend to automate. What kind of tasks do you want to automate? Exactly what task do you want to automate? Then again, once you have identified exactly what the task is, then you ask yourself, what are the individual steps involved in this task? So for instance, if your task is to, let's say, automate every lead that is coming in such a way that they receive their emails on time, maybe every 2 days or something. Let's say that is the task that you want to automate. So you ask yourself, what is the individual steps involved? Once you have identified the individual steps involved, which of course we are going to look at in the next slide, then you can think of the software that you need for every single task, right? You can look at the software that you need for every single task. And so, having said that, it's now time for us to get into this. Now we want to help Amara solve a problem. We want to help her solve a problem. What can we possibly do for Amara? That is what we want to get into at this point. And so, bear with me. I'm going to share my screen, and at this point, we are going straight into Zap. We are going straight into Zap. So let me close this and share my other screen with you. Okay. Right. Now let me know if you can see this particular screen. My Zap screen. Oops. Oops. Okay, let me go here.
Which of the slides? Is it this one that you want to show, or
Kindly let me know if you can see my Zap, this particular screen that I am sharing.
the one I'm seeing now is what would you like to automate? Is that the slide you want to show?
Please indicate in the
Huh?
comment section if you can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen, but I'm trying to. Is it the Zapier, the one with the Zapier
Right.
dashboard? Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So, welcome to Zapier at this point. Now, when you talk about Zapier, I think yesterday I kind of went into, no, 2 days ago, right? I went a bit into Zapier and what it does. Now, think of it this way, that in the case of Amara, she has to use multiple software, one for generating leads, the other one as a database for storing the data that he has, the information or contact that will kind of send emails, right, to her clients or her leads, And so for every single task in that entire process, Amara needs a particular software to tackle that. So she now has to copy all of the emails, paste them into Google Sheets, and then from there, copy all of them, send them to Google Gmail before she can send her emails and stuff, or even use another software that will host her course. And so, if you think about it, she's using multiple softwares, right? But what Zapier does is that Zapier is that one platform that houses all of these individual software. So in Zapier, you don't have to worry yourself about knowing how to use Gmail, how to use Trello, how to use Notion. Forget about how to use all of these, right? You don't need any technical skill to use Zapier. So when you come to Zapier, the first thing you do is to sign up, right? I already have an account. That is why you are seeing this interface. If not, you would be seeing the homepage that would require you to, create an account. Now, in Zapier, when you come here, you have this option which says create, Now, when you talk about create, at this point, you are going to deal with creating zaps. But before I talk about creating zaps, let me break down and explain exactly what a zap is, right? Because when you come to this part, you see something like start from scratch. You see zap here. I don't know if that is clear. Let me zoom in. Right. So you see zap here. Is it clear enough? Okay, I think it's clear. So here you see zap, and then what exactly is a zap? So when we talk about a zap is simply a workflow, right? A workflow that connects multiple tasks or multiple software to execute a particular task. Okay, so any workflow that involves multiple software that allows you to execute a specific task is what we call a zap. Now, just so that you have an idea what a workflow is, let me show you a particular picture. Let me show you a particular image. Okay, so I'm going to show you a particular image. I'm uploading that file. You'll be seeing. Oops. Okay. Anyway, that the image is not popping up, but that's fine. But I wanted to show you what a workflow looks like. Okay. So when we talk about a workflow is basically the series of events, right, or tasks that are needed to be accomplished in a particular process, right, are directed toward a particular end, so which means that there's an ultimate goal that you want to accomplish. Is that okay? And so when you come to this platform, Zapier, you have a Zap here. Now, once I have explained what a Zap is, there are two things that make up a Zap, right? There are two things that make up a Zap. So the Zap is now right underneath. You see automated workflows. So that is what we call the Zap. Now, what are the two things that make up a Zap? The first one is called a trigger. All right, a trigger. And the second is called an action. Sorry. The second is called an action or an event. Now, when you come down here, you see tables, interface, chatbots, Canva, agents, and so on and so forth. But our focus is going to be on Zap. Again, when you look closely at this point, there's a particular question here asking you, what would you like to automate? And this is an AI feature that has been integrated into Zapier. By the way, this is in beta mode, right? Which means that it hasn't been rolled out fully yet. And so, but it is quite an interesting tool. I like what it does. For instance, if you are not sure exactly what you want to achieve, or you don't know what kind of individual software you need to execute your task, you can make use of the AI feature here. So you can just come here and then give it a submission, and then let's say reply to contact, reply to email with Google Drive file, right? So assuming this is Amara's problem, so what we want to do for Amara at this point is that when somebody submits a Google form, that means that Amara is getting a new lead. Name of the lead in Google Sheets. I hope this one is clear. This one that I'm typing, I don't know if it is visible enough. In Google Sheets, and reply to the email with a Google Drive file link. Okay, so this is what we want to do for Amara. So we just hit on this, and then it does its magic. This magic is not Shango's magic. So this is what it does for you. Now, right on your screen at this point, you are seeing what the AI feature is suggesting for you. So the AI feature is now saying, based on the prompts that you gave, here are my 3-step Zap. So it is suggesting a Google form for us. Also creates spreadsheet row, which is a Google Sheets, and then send Gmail, right? Send email. So it has suggested a 3-step Zap for us. If that is something you like, you can hit on try it. You can hit on try it. I don't know if that's something you would want us to try, but well, today is going to be more practical. So let me just hit on try it. So we are going to make use of what the AI suggested for us. Guys, are you seeing the magic? So let's see. It's still loading. So we want to load our zap. So the Canva is still loading. Let's give it a second.
Is that a problem?
Oh, not exactly. We are loading a particular page. Um, I think it's slow. The network wants to mess with us. But yeah, it's still loading. I'm still. Guys, give me a second. I don't know. The network is trying to fuck up. It's trying to mess up. Let me just check this. Okay, okay. I think it's loading now.
Has it come up now? Yeah,
Let's
it's
go back
showing
to
now.
try. Yeah, yeah. I still see my screen. Guys, can you see the screen?
Yes. I can see it now.
Oh, okay. Right. So, so what you have here, your workspace, this is where you are going to perform all of your tasks. This is where you are going to build your Zap. Now, the first thing I have on my Zap, if you look to my left, if you look to the left, you see Copilot Beta. This is also an integrated AI feature that allows you to make adjustments to into the zap that you are creating. And so, assuming you are not okay with what you have here, you can just come to the chat with Copilot and tell it whatever you want it to do for you. And then it will regenerate and give you different outcomes based on your inputs, based on your prompt. Now, the form submission here, the Google Forms here, is going to be the one that is going to, because that is what is going to receive the emails. However, before we make use of this, we need to create a Google form. We need to create a Google form, guys. So one of the things you need to realize is that whenever you are using Google Forms, type forms, most of the time you have to set up your trigger even before you get into Zapier, right? But I did not create any form because I want to do it with you. I want you to see and watch me do it so that you can also implement it. And so let's now go and create a Google form. We will give it a specific name and then assign the particular details we want to receive. Okay, so let me go to Google Forms. Let me share that screen with you so that you see what I'm doing. Let me share a new screen so that you can watch what I'm doing. Okay, I don't want to do anything on your blind side. Okay. All right. Now, so here's me searching for Google Forms. So now we sign into Google Forms. So we are just going to use this as our template for lead generation. Okay. This is going to act as a template for our lead generation. So let's come to create a blank form, or maybe contact information. Right, so now we are in. We now have a form. What name should we give this form? Let's call it lead generation. Let's call this form lead generation. Okay, so that will be the name of this form. Any form description. This form is for receiving lead details. Okay. I hope is it visible enough? Maybe I should zoom out so that you can see exactly what I'm typing.
What did you say?
I was asking if the screen is visible enough. Maybe I should zoom out so that you see what I'm doing.
I try and zoom out, but it's visible from my end because I'm actually zooming out my head. It's okay like this. Lead generation.
All right. Right. So we have named our form as lead generation. Now, what we want to do is we want to collect specific details from our prospective leads. So the first thing we want to receive is their email, right? So we want to write email here. And that is going to be a short answer. That is required. So we check this required button here so that the lead will give us their email. Now the next thing we want to add, we add a question. So we add this, we click on this plus sign. The other thing we want to have is their first name. Okay. We are also going to request for their first name. And that will basically be it. we do not want to take any additional information. Is there any other thing you think we should request from our leads? Guys, let me know in the comment section whatever it is you want us to collect from our leads. We are doing this together. We are doing this together. In your own business, what are the things that you think your lead should feed you or your lead should give you? What are the details you collect from your leads? Do you also collect contact? Maybe we should add a WhatsApp contact. Right. So we can also check that button. And that is that. So I think these three are enough for what we want to illustrate. So now that we are done setting up our Google Forms, we can hit on publish. Then hit this, and then we are done. So our form now has been published. So let's just get the link. Let's get the link here. We can shorten the link and copy it. We are going to need it. So now let's go back to Zapier. Let me share this tab. Right. Can you see the Zapier tab now? So in Zapier now, we come to this button and this box on our right, which says new form response. And then we are supposed to set it up. Now here, we choose the app. We are dealing with Google Forms, so we are not going to change anything here. And then when you come to trigger events, what is it that should trigger our entire Zap? It should be the new form response. So new form response or new or updated form response triggers when a form is responsive. So we have to sign in here. So you click the sign in button here, and then we are going to add our account. That's exactly what we are doing now. So I'm going to add a Google account. So this is going to be the account I'm going to add. So grant access. So I'm going to let Zapier have access to this particular email so that we can access the files associated with that email. Okay. Right. So now you notice that the email has popped up here. So that is going to be the accounts associated with the email.
Your screen is not much showing, see?
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Is it okay now?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So you would notice that we had 3 steps here. We had the setup option, we had configure, and then test. Now under setup, that is where we chose our app, which is our Google Forms. Then the trigger event, which is new form. So what the new form means is that anytime we receive a new form response, anytime somebody responds to this particular form, that Google form that we have created, then the trigger should be pulled, which means that the entire Zap activates the entire Zap. And then here at the account, we added our Gmail account. And so the moment we were done with that, you see this green check mark here. and then we can now move on to configure. Now here at configure, we are now supposed to come here, click on this box, and then choose the specific Google form that we want to use. So the email I used has some forms attached to it. There's this form called Peasant Culture Webinar. There's this form called T-shirt sign up. And then, but what we want to deal with is what I just created, the lead generation form. So that's what we will select. So we will select the lead generation form. Now, once that is selected, the green check mark also pops up, and then we hit the continue button. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets interesting, because at this point we are going to test our trigger to see whether our trigger really works. Okay, so you hit the test trigger button here, a green check mark. But if it doesn't, then we will be prompted that there's something wrong with it. So let me just close this. Okay. Oops. Okay, that is done. We come to the next step, which is our Google Sheets. So we hit on this particular one. Oh, why am I left with only the Canva? Okay. Okay. All right. I think the way I zoomed to set. Now, by the way, if you check this, you notice that the test was actually successful. And now continue with the selected record. And that is why we are coming to the next step, which is our Google Sheets. So here we will not really do much. The only thing we are going to do, because we are already dealing with Google Sheets, the Google Sheets, the spreadsheet is going to act as our database. So anytime somebody fills a form, a spreadsheet, a Google Sheet will automatically be created. You don't have to go to Google Sheet to create a sheet and start adding emails and names and contacts. You don't have to do any of that. The moment a form is created, that Google Sheet is automatically created, and all of the contact details of the lead are automatically added to that Google Sheet, and that acts as your database. And so what we are going to do here now is to also add a Gmail account. So we are going to add a Gmail account here. And I hope you can see my screen. I'm trying to add a Gmail account. So I just hit on this the so it's okay. I think we're making some progress. So you click on allow, and that is it. So now our form has been added successfully.
The screen is
Let's go
not
back to
showing now. It's
Televia.
not showing.
Yeah, I noticed. It's because of the pop-up box. We use the pop-up box to do the account signing. That was why. So once it closed, that was why the screen stopped sharing. So I think it's now clear now. We can see the screen now. So if you look closely, you see that an account has been added to this particular side of the box. And so we come back to now look watch closely. We are done with the setup. So there's a green check mark. But there's something wrong here. There's a particular exclamation mark here at the configuration side, which means that we have not yet configured this particular side of the spreadsheet. So we come to continue. And then that takes us to the configuration side. Now, we are supposed to choose a value. Now, at this part, the value, we don't really have any value, but we can choose your Google Drive as a value. Not really required, so you can choose to ignore that. Now, the spreadsheet you want to use. Which spreadsheet do you want to use? So we need to come here and then probably load more. There's only one result here. Now, if we want to add a spreadsheet, this is what we are going to do. We might probably have to create a spreadsheet by ourselves, but we don't want to do that. So here's what we are going to do. We are going to fill out and submit the. Let me create. Guys, can you see my screen? Can you still see my screen? Okay, I think it's showing. Okay. So here's what I'm going
Yes,
to
yes.
do. So on this side, I have pasted the link to the Google form. So I'm going to submit that form. I'm going to fill the form. So I'm visiting that particular page where the form we created is. It's still loading. Okay, so it has opened now. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill this form, right? So I'm going to add an email and then first name and then a WhatsApp contact. It's still loading here. That's why I'm holding on a bit. Let me close it and then just type in. Oops. Oh. Okay. So I'm going to fill this form. And then let me just say Ijeoma is my first name. And then for my contact details, my WhatsApp, I'll say +23481 blah blah blah. Let me just type in any set of numbers and then hit the submit button. So the form has been sent. We have submitted this form. Now, Let's go back into Zapier and then watch something. Watch what we are going to do here. Guys, see something. Now that the form has been filled, we can now refresh this field and then choose a Google Sheet, our spreadsheet, sorry. So here we are going to choose new forms in Google, right? And then we will hit on this button. So we are going to deal with the respondent email, and then let me see which other thing. Okay, so that's the only thing we are going to deal with now, right? So that's the spreadsheet we are going to be dealing with, the respondent email. Then we come to the worksheets. Now, by the way, worksheet means that what it means that, you know, when you create a particular Google form, you can have multiple worksheets in that particular Google form. So since we do not have multiple worksheets, the only thing we are going to do here now is to just select the respondent email again as our main worksheet. Then use the time zone up to on. That one is not necessary, so we are not going to need that. You notice that the green checkbox has been ticked. So we will go and test this trigger and then see if it is working. And then there's a problem. So once there's a problem, it tells you that this particular failed, but you can go to help me fix it, or you can just fix it if you can do it by yourself. Otherwise, we have to step back and then find out exactly what is wrong. Okay, so here, let me create let me open the Google Sheets. Okay. Okay, so let's come back to this. Let's come back to this and then use the static option. And then let's go and choose, our form has now popped up here. So now we can select our Google Sheets. Then for this, we are going to select sheet 1, and that is it. Okay, so we can now hit continue and test again and see if it will work. Right, so it's now perfect. The green checkbox is now in, which means that that particular setup has been configured. So we can now hit on the continue button. Now we have to set up our Gmail. in setting up our Gmail, what is the task that we want to accomplish? Is it sending an email, adding a label to an email, creating a draft? So you can actually choose from all of these options. But for us, what we want to do is to send an email. Send an email. So we have to connect our Gmail account. Where do you want the email to go? So we will send that. We will add a Gmail account. So give me a second. I'm adding a Gmail account. Once that is done, you will see an email pop up here. So the moment I add an account, that account is going to pop up. Give me a second. It's still loading. So hit continue. Okay, so we have almost successfully completed adding the account, and it is going to pop up here shortly. You are going to see an email pop up here. You are going to see an email pop up in this part very soon. Very good. So that is that. The email has been added successfully. So we now hit the continue button. Then we come to configure. Let me zoom in our Zap. Okay, so we come to our Zap. Where do you want us to send the email to? So the email we are going to send is going to be sent to who? Okay, so it is going to be sent to the new form response in this. Or you want us to choose from create spreadsheet in row. So in our spreadsheet, there's a particular row that is supposed to be labeled as email. But let me come here and see. Okay, to the respondent email. So we will choose respondent email here. So it means that the email that will be sent to the lead's email, the person who submitted the form. It will be sent to their email. The email you are seeing here is just an illustration. It's just for illustration purposes. And then let's scroll down. Are we sending the message to Google Contacts Group? No, so we check false. Do you want to send a copy of this email to somebody else? Maybe you want to send a copy to yourself. So you can choose to enter your own email there. If not, you can leave it blank, and so on and so forth. Now, the email the person is going to receive, it should be sent from whose email? So we are going to use the email we signed up in, the email we attached, which is our own email. What name do you want the person to see when they receive the email? So you enter the name here. What name do you want the person to see? It can be your own name. You can choose to enter your name there. So let me just write that way incorporated. Then let me just add this and add. Okay, let me do it this way. So you can add your name and maybe your business name, right? So Steven That Way Incorporated. So that is the name that will pop up if the person receives our email. Now, in case the person wants to reply that email, where should the reply go to? We are also going to use the same email that we used. The person, we can reply to the person's email. Okay, and then the subject. But this, let me clear this. This is not necessary. The subject should be maybe, thank you for signing up. So that is going to be the subject. Is there a specific message you want to send, or so and so forth? Now, watch what I'm going to do here. I don't know if you can see this clearly, but let me zoom in and show you something. I'm going to show you something. So what I'm going to do is that, and this is for all of you, I'm going to send you a particular PDF document on this same subject that we are handling, we are treating. Now, once you sign up, you are going to receive an email with a PDF, a link to a PDF that you can download the file and go through it. Everything I've been talking about, I have put all of them in a PDF, and I'm giving this to you for free. All right? I'm giving this to you for free. So here is what we are going to do. I'm going to add a link. Thank you for taking part in Dominance 2025. Oops, why is my screen shaky like that? Okay. Here's a free gift for you. And then I'll add the link to the document that I want to give to you. Give me a second. Why is this shaky? Okay. That's it. I'm going to add the link to the file, and then that's it. Or better still, I can actually add the file as an attachment. So I can actually come here, but I've not linked Google Drive. But I could as well add the file as an attachment. If I come here, and then let's say Google Drive, or maybe I could actually paste the link here. Yes. But whichever way, since we have already included the link in the body of the email, I don't think it's necessary to add the attachment. So I'll just hit on continue. And then we will not do a lot here. So everything that we want to do is here. Okay. So we just hit on test step. So it is trying to send a message to see whether it will go through. So now that there's a green check mark, which means that our entire Zap has been set up. So we hit the publish button, and that means our Zap is now going live, right? Hey, you people should leave me. Upgrade to Pro, even less several points, right? So now that our Zap is live, what it means is that anytime somebody fills this particular form, going to get access to a file, a PDF document. Anytime you fill this form, you are going to get access to a PDF document. And so, Ruth, I just want us to test what we have done so far. And so I am going to send you the link, and then you paste it in the comment section for them to test and see whether they can have access to the how do we call it, the PDF file. All right, so Ruth, I've sent you the link. Guys, thank you all. Thank you all. You all are doing amazing. Aminat, Perpetua, Ugebu, Ugochuku. Oh, thank you all. Thank you all. You're welcome. So I have sent a link. I don't know if Ruth is still here with us. Ruth, please, if you are still here with us, let me know. Kindly let me know if you are still here with us so that you give them this link.
Yes, I'm here.
I've sent you a link in the private chat. Please post that link in the comment section. I want them to test what we have built. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. You've done that. All right, guys. So that is the link. That is the link, guys. Click on the link, fill out that particular form, and then let's see what happens. And by the way, Zapier is not just for automating lead generations. Okay, this is not just about automating lead generations. There's a whole lot you can do with Zapier, including creating content. We can actually be dealing with ChatGPT, creating your own content and posting them on social media. All of that can be automated. Image generation, such that you can just write random words, upload them to your Google Drive or your Word document or your Google Forms. And then the moment that form is uploaded to your Google Forms, we can actually connect that Google form to ChatGPT to create content around that particular word. And then ChatGPT will create that content. We can also task ChatGPT to create image descriptions or let's say scripts, right, for that particular text or content. Then we can also integrate or connect it to other apps within Zapier that will generate images or that will generate videos based on the text. And we can connect that to your social media handles, and all of that can be created and posted to your social media without having to go through all of those individual stages by yourself. So the only time you invest is building the system. And then once you have done that, you just leave the rest. Everything now happens. So all that is required is you pull the trigger and the entire workflow starts functioning, right? So don't just look at it as something you can use for lead generation. If you are organizing a webinar, we can simply do this, create a landing page with any of the email delivery services, email services, let's say MailChimp, SendGrid, Mailgun, even Zapier's own email integration system. So we can use any of those things, right? Guys, if you submit the form, kindly let me know. I think somebody has done that. Okay. Samina has done that. All right. I think Aminat has done that. Aminat, let me know if you receive a link to download the PDF document I was talking about. kindly let me know if you get the document. Oh, okay. Okay. Um, Aminat, you have submitted the file. You have submitted the form, but you have not received the email. Is that not it? You have not received email. I think I figured why. So the thing with let me show you. I was trying to check if this is published, and apparently Zapier refused to publish our system because we have gone beyond the free version. And so what we are doing is actually supposed to be under professional. But I just hope that you've got an idea how to build this. Actually, the free version can only let you build a two-step zap. A two-step zap. What a two-step zap means is that instead of the three steps you have here, you'd rather have two. Here's what we can do. We can get rid of Google Sheets. So we can delete this and have a two-step zap. So what we have now is a two-step zap. And then we can publish this. And that is acceptable. But if you want to have multiple zaps, yes, we can transfer existing data. And if you want to have multiple zaps, like more than two zaps, then you have to get a subscription. Okay, get a subscription. And it's not very costly. I think that is something you should invest in. Besides, it's not as much as paying for a workforce, you know. And so, I I still think it is profitable if you have to get it. But you are going to you are Okay. Email was because we were using multiple zaps. We were using more than two zaps, and because of that, the zap we built was not published. The zap we built was not published, and so I have reduced the zap to two instead of three. So it means that I have eliminated the Google Sheets. So we are now dealing with Google Forms and email. So we can. Here's what we are going to do. I mean, don't worry. You don't have to refill. So we are going to. Let me show you something. Oh no, you don't. You don't have to refill. You don't have to refill. I'm going to show you something. You are going to get the email. Don't worry. You are going to get the email shortly. I think we've spent a lot of time on this. I'm going to make sure we complete this before I leave you, right? Let's get this out of the way. So we have our email, this and that. Okay. Okay. All right. So try refilling the form and let's see if you are going to get an email. I just want to be sure this thing is working. Okay. So I am also trying to fill it in here. Okay. I mean, let me know if you have done it again. I have made some changes in our Zap. All right. I think it is working because I have gotten the email. Here is mine. Where is it? Yeah, 4:54 p.m. and that's it. So it says, thank you for taking part in Dominance 2025. Here's your file link, right? It has actually been attached as this, so you can just hit on this and then download the file. So that is the file. Okay, so that is that. It is working perfectly from my end. I just wanted to confirm if it works for you. Okay, so a few things that I want to add, and then let me add a few things, and then I'll take leave of you. So Ruth, um, I don't know, maybe I didn't discuss this with you, but if anybody is here who is concerned. Maybe you are struggling with a certain part of your business that you have had to be doing the same part repeatedly, and you want to automate that part of your business. You know what? You can talk to Ruth. She will tell me about it, or she can let you have contact with me, and then I can take you through. All right, I can walk you through. So that will be the offer for the day. I'll be available to assist any of you if you have to automate any part of your business. Just because you are taking part in Dominance Challenge 2025, the April edition. So I think at this point you've been able to have an idea how this whole automation thing works. It can get complex than this. You can create multiple zaps. You can have two-step zaps and be linking each other. Oh, Aminat, you still didn't get an email. Is that so? How is that? Because I got an email. Wow. Kindly refill. If you have, by the way, let me show you something. Let's confirm something before you fill the form. So if you come to the website, sorry, let me show you something. Now, Aminat, I want you to look closely at this. Look at this particular form. You would notice that here there's a particular email address that is linked to this particular profile, this particular website I've visited. There's a particular email link to this. That's the email, and that is what is popping up here, right? So if I type a different email here, that email, this email is not what is going to receive the, how do we call it, the file. Okay, so you need to make sure that the email that you are using here is the same email you have input here. So please make sure that the two emails are aligned. All right.
None of
Okay.
those
It's not showing again.
How? Secondary school in Lagos
Yeah,
State.
I put it down. I mean, and I don't know two emails tally. Make sure you have the same emails there. Otherwise, if the same email attached to the profile you used, you are not going to receive the file. But okay, let me tweak something here. Let me tweak something here and see. Okay. I mean, at this point, you should receive an email. At this point, please confirm for me. Please check and let me know if you have received the email. Okay, 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 okay. I mean, I thank you. Let me fix this. I really want you to receive this document. So here's what I'm going to do. Just to confirm, samina@gmail.com. Just want to be sure. Okay, so I have updated the system. Kindly check for me. Kindly let me know if you receive it. Alright, guys, so I think we've spent quite a lot of time. I believe that at this point you must have had a fair idea about how this whole automation thing works. We have done 1 hour and 45 minutes. I do not intend to spend any more time. So here's what I'm going to do. Maybe I should create one last zap, and then we can test that, and then I'll end the session there. I don't know if that's okay. I didn't intend to go beyond that, but anyway, so let me just try and create one last zap. What zap should we use? What zap should we use? What problem do you want us to solve? Missing authorizations. Okay. What zap? What problems do you want us to fix? All right, so let's check the template and see which one we can use. Thinking maybe I should try that. I'm going to test an idea with a zap. By the way, these are some of the templates you can choose from. Those under lead management and zap templates, lead management solutions, popular sales. If you are dealing with sales, these are some of the zaps. There are quite a variety of them. Marketing campaign zaps, popular customer support. If you are dealing with support solutions, data management, if you are dealing with solutions, data management solutions, and so on and so forth. These are some of the zaps you can make use of. But yeah, like I said, I want to do something. Let me go back to create and then use the chatbot. Okay. Let me go back to create. So content creation, I'm creating a new chatbot. I hope I did the right thing. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. I mean, I was surprised you were not receiving your emails. Thank you for confirming. It came multiple times, I guess. Okay. get that email because it contains a PDF document. Okay, so we have a 14-day trial to use this. We can create our own chat bot and then connect it to OpenAI's API and all of that. This is a bit technical. Let me not get into this before I confuse you. But I want to show you something. There's something I want to show you, which is why I came here. So we are going to do something. So ChatGPT creates marketing content, or let's say Twitter posts. Twice a day, and posts directly on X with hashtags. Okay. If do your magic. If I is doing its magic. Oh my goodness. I am living on I have seen your mighty works. No, I don't think this will work for us. Um, uh, guys, so here's what I will encourage you to do, right? Try as much as possible to get used to this particular platform, familiarize yourself with it. So I'm about to do something crazy here. So watch here. This is the 2 steps up. So what we are going to do is that whenever you type and save a keyword in Google Docs, ChatGPT will take that keyword and create a Facebook post from that keyword. Is that okay? So let's try that and see. So we are going to zap. Now this is going to be the last project for tonight. and then I'll leave you because we've done almost 2 hours. I have to do a few things. Okay, so this is going to be done every 15 minutes. Okay, so our Google Docs, new documents. Yes, new Google document pulling triggers when a new document is added. Okay, so anytime we add a new document to Google, our Google Docs, ChatGPT will create. So what Zapier is going to do is to link Google Docs and then ChatGPT. Okay. So whenever you have an idea, you want to create content with a particular keyword or maybe a trending keyword, you just put in that keyword, Google Docs, save it, and then ChatGPT will create the keyword. It will create the content for you. Okay. So let's sign in quickly. Let me add my Gmail account to this. Almost done. Almost done. So the email is going to pop up here like it always does. Okay. All right. So the email has been successfully added. We hit the continue button. Then we test our trigger. Boom. Successful. Oh, okay. So we now have to connect to ChatGPT as well. We want to have the action. Hold on. Do we want ChatGPT to analyze image content with vision or analyze text sentiment, check moderation? So ChatGPT can do all of this for you, right? Classify text, have a conversation with assistant, and then it will generate response. It's a given text to speech. So you can just save a text in your, how do we call it, Google Docs, and then it will generate a speech based on that particular text for you, text. And then it can create a new assistant. It can create transcriptions, translations, all of these things. Okay, all of these. It can write your email, API requests, find assistants, find the file, search embeddings, and so on and so forth. But we are going to deal with the basic ones, have a conversation. So we are going to sign in with our email. So I'm attaching an API. There is nothing you cannot do, protocol breaker. There is nothing you cannot do, Jehovah, do it. I have tasted of your love. I have seen your mighty works. Mountain mover, my lover, you're my name. Okay, so just a second, it's still loading. I'm trying to connect the Gmail account to ChatGPT. Network is very slow. Yes, I mean, you can get all of what we are doing for free. I think I can even share the projects we have built with you so that you can test them on your own. I will have to check that. Not so sure, but I think it's possible to share zaps. Yeah. But the thing with the um, free version is that you can